FKP. Today I'm going to be talking about bags, but first I need to get the self-sponsorship shit out of the way because if I don't, I don't get paid. That's how it works. Well, it also happens to be that I own all this shit. And some shout outs to all the homies. So, first things first, because this is a bag video, obviously Overpass Bags. If you need a cheap, reliable, good quality fucking bag, rifle stuff, we got some more shit coming. Overpassbags.com. Superior Defense, if you don't know what the fuck that is, don't worry about it. HousePartyDistro.com. We make t-shirts. If you need t-shirts, we'll make you fucking t-shirts. Check the website. There's a contact us email link on there. We can help you out. Infinite Armory, that is the newest project that I am working on. It is up. It is fucking running. Think about Gunbroker, Arms List, Tax Swap, all these other fucking things that exist on the internet. It's getting harder to sell your shit. We threw our fucking hat in the ring. When you go to join, you're going to have to fucking use a code to join as a vendor. Use SupDef for your code to join. Sell your shit. It's awesome. I wouldn't be using it if it wasn't fucking awesome. That being fucking said, we are consistently doing updates to the website, and we are adding new features often. So things are only going to get better. Now, let's see. Shout outs to absolutely all the homies. Forward Observations Group, Dirty Kid, Room Temp Pizza, Spare the Dying, Low Rollers, Annex Defense, all the fucking homies. Shout out to fucking absolutely everyone. And thanks to you guys for watching my super annoying fucking YouTube videos with terrible video grading, terrible fucking sound, all the things that I do. For some reason, you guys pay attention to this shit. So let's get to the video to where I ramble about bags for 20 plus fucking minutes. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about bags. So if you're not a bag guy, you should probably just not watch this, which is fine. I get it. But I will be talking about my setups, how I carry stuff, certain situations, certain ways, and so on and so forth. And moving forward, I should probably get it out of the way that this video is going to have curse words in it because I curse like a fucking sailor. So if you're at work, good luck. Apparently, I'm supposed to put warnings in these things because all the old dudes that like bolt guns and tie fucking cans get upset when I use curse words and they say it sounds unnatural. The reality is I'm a fucking asshole. And yeah, so straight up talking about bags. And this is going to be very, very, very opinionated, my opinion. So let's jump into it and I will talk about a bunch of different shit. Be prepared for really terrible color grading and really shit hot takes. So, here we go. First part of Bag Chat, I am going to be talking about ammo storage. This is something that I personally think is the thing that gets overlooked the most because most guys will just end up using ammo cans. I like ammo cans for like long storage, but the reality is for me, I shoot a lot. I'm very fortunate. So whenever it comes to, hey, I need to grab 300 blackout, or I need to grab 5.56 or 9mm or whatever the shit that I'm shooting at at that point in time, I made some bags for myself. Some variations of stuff that I've already seen here and there around the industry that's already made. And again, this stuff, there's so much shit out there. There's so many companies that make this stuff. This is just the shit that I use every day because this is my lifestyle. I shoot a lot. I do marketing. I do media for a lot of companies. So this is the stuff I use day to day. And like I said, ammo storage is the one that I think gets used and overlooked. It gets used the least. It gets overlooked the most. So first thing, this is going to be the first bag that we talk about. This is going to be a bag that I did with Superior Defense, and this is called the Scrote. It is just a standard fucking bucket bag that has a flap on the top. Got trash in it right now. Flap on the top and a cinch, right? So I made these with Superior Defense, full barrier compliant, U.S. manufactured, so on and so forth. And that bag actually holds 500, maybe a little bit more, 5.56, and about 1,000 rounds of 9mm. This is what that bag looks like with 1,000 rounds of 9mm. The next bag I'm going to talk about, I use almost exclusively the majority of the fucking time because I like these quite a bit. This is going to be called a dumpling. You can see it is a little rectangle jammer with some fucking grab handles on the side, and it has a zipped pouch on the top. This one's going to be M81. Again, full Berry compliant, so on and so forth. DCU on the inside. These bags were manufactured by and designed by Alpen Design Works. Corey is one of my favorite fucking dudes when it comes to bag design stuff because him and I, work together on a lot of shit. So this bag was actually a collab project between us. He made these colors for me, and he still sells them. So if you're not looking to get some sup def shit just because you're not into the brand, you don't like me because I'm a fucking idiot, that's fine. I get that. So Alpen Design Works actually makes these bags, and he will consistently release them in certain colors. Now, these hold about 250, maybe 300 rounds of 5.56, and almost about 500 rounds of fucking 9mm, depending on how nice you want to be to the zipper. This is what, 200, this is about 300 rounds of 220 grain, 300 blackout. Okay, so I use these bags a lot. I use both the scrote and the dumplings. The dumplings I use a little bit more, depending on how I'm traveling or what car I'm driving, so on and so forth. Last but not least, there's another one over here somewhere. This is another bag that I did with Alpen Design. It is essentially, this is called a bow bun. This is the sup def version, but what it is it's two fucking dumplings that are married together, and then you have an outer zipper, and you got some grab handles. These are perfect for shooting USPSA. You can keep mags on one side, you can keep ammo on the other side, or they're good for long range. I mean, honestly, let's be real, they're good for fucking ammo, right? That's why we have ammo bags. Last but not least, the bag that I use the most to store ammo is going to be this thing right here. And this, I forget what the name of this bag is, but essentially it's made by a company called Privateer Group, and it's just a fucking candy bar style bag. You can see it's got loaded magazines in it. This has what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 PMags stuffed inside of it, and it's got loop on it so you can put goofy ass pouches because gun dudes love goofy ass patches. If you're a mid-century modern guy, you know what that is. So those are the ammo bags. Pause. Not completely. The tote bag. This is something that everyone overlooks because it's a tote bag, but this one is made in the worst fucking pattern on the planet, which I absolutely love. It shits on everyone. But this one has a ton of loose magazines in it and some other shit in there. So when it comes to storing and taking your shit with you, ammo-wise, the tote bag, you can put all this other shit in there. If you get a good, decent made fucking tote bag, it's not going to blow out on you. Dump all your shit out of it. Put shoes in it, so on and so forth. Tote bag, super universal, and there's more tote bags I will actually talk about later in this video. But, again, that's the stuff that I use for ammo almost exclusively every fucking day. Moving past that, we're going to be talking about rifle bags. Moving into rifle bags, and I understand that this is a very subjective thing, depending on what you carry, how you carry, the length of the gun you carry, how you want to transport your shit. All of this is going to be very subjective, and I understand that, and that's fine. But for me, and like I said earlier, I made these bags, some of these bags, for myself, specific to my needs, how I traveled, how I fucking shoot, what I shoot. And let's see, we'll get the newest one out of the way. I didn't make this, I didn't design this, but it's something that I just received. I like it. It's cool, and I'm a big supporter of Magpul and their venture into bags because of the materials that they use and the manufacturing that they use. So this is going to be the Magpul DACA rifle case or soft case. This is a 35-inch case. It's got that proper fucking Magpul DACA shitty fucking zipper that's really tough to use, that you should probably use some of that Yeti lube. Also, you can see there's plastic in this because I got a couple of these. So the cool thing about this case is you'll be able to see is that this has like a neoprene. This is neoprene, actually. It's got these little pockets up on the fucking top, so you can stuff shit in there. It's got a little bit of padding, kinda. I wouldn't say too much padding. But then all of this is laser cut down here, DACA material, and then they've actually got really good retainer straps inside. The problem with the 35-inch case for me is I could use this maybe for an SBS or a couple of their guns that, they fit in here. Traditionally, I do not use these cases outside of maybe SPRs, some 16-inch shit that I don't really want to break down. They go in a car. Maybe I might fucking put a gun in this and throw it in a Pelican. We'll get to Pelicans later. I'll kind of talk about why I don't truly use them that often and the Pelicans or hard cases that I actually do use. So this is the new Magpul case. I'm sure there's people out there talking about them. They're actually pretty rad. I like the construction of them. And you really can't complain about it. Next, this is going to be a couple different iterations. Can't talk today. Couple different iterations of the soft case that I have manufactured and where I've ended up with it and how we got here, essentially. So the first soft case that I ended up making is going to be this. This is called a trash bag. And when I started doing bags a couple years ago, like 8 years ago, about 8 years ago, this was the first soft case that I came up with. And by came up with, I mean, I saw a bag that I liked, I used it, there was a bunch of shit in it that I fucking hated, so I did the thing that I always do when it comes to the design, very loose term for me, is I subtracted a bunch of shit and made it specific to my use. So this bag, very small, very short. I'll enter the dimensions here so someone doesn't complain about it. But super basic. I don't even think I ever used this bag because this is a chocolate chip one. So this is one of the last iterations of this bag before it changed to the next bag. But you can see inside, it's just got loop inside of here. And then you have these removable straps, which are for keeping your gun together or gun parts together, so on and so forth. Now, after the fucking trash bag, we came out with the auto bag. If you know anything about auto bags, you know that there is a newer variation of these that exists that are imported versus a U.S. manufacturer one, which is this one. These were expensive. These were like 350 fucking bucks. I think the last one that I ran was actually this one, and I want to say they were even more because American manufactured bags are fucking expensive. Now, the situation here is that the trash bag, essentially, when I released it, really tall mounts weren't a thing. So you could fit a 10.5-inch SBR in one of these bags, 5.56 or whatever, an AR-15. You could fit it in that bag with a normal height, lower third fucking T2 or a lower third EOTech EXPS. It was chill, it fit, you didn't have to break your shit down. If you wanted to use a 16-inch gun, you just break it down, or a 14.5, and then you could split it because it is set up to be two sides, right? Padded divider, so on and so forth. Well, when I redesigned it and made the changes that I made, again, I will put in the dimensions here. Boop. I made it tall enough to be used with a 226 mount, with a 10.5-inch gun. They work really well with MCXs, Spear LTs, Bren 2s, shit like that. If it didn't fit, you break it down, it's padded, so on and so forth. But this was designed to fit in a certain Pelican case, and again, we'll get to that in a minute. Now, because I like shooting subguns, there was another variation of this bag that I did, and this is going to be the waste bin. So waste bins, trash bags, waste bins are obviously shorter, they're taller. This was designed for my MP5, that dimension here. That dimension was specific to just using it with an MP5, with a side folder, not a collapsible stock, and then all the other subguns that kind of exist in that same fucking space fit in here. Q Minifix fits perfect in here, and then the interior is going to be the same thing. Padded, so on and so forth. Now, the fucked up part about rifle cases is, there's a ton of guys that'll be like, oh man, like make one for this length. It's like, dude, Magpul just released 1 million of those. They already exist. They're going to be fairly inexpensive compared to what I would produce because I don't have the numbers to produce, that same price break. But when it comes down to it, after the end of the day, U.S. manufactured bags, like I said, got expensive. So I started importing them. You already know about this. This is the Overpass version. All the U.S. shit that I just showed you was originally started. They were like $180 almost 10 years ago. Now they're all the way up to $375. They fucking suck to manufacture. They take forever, but they're good quality. Now, moving forward and importing them and bringing the Overpass stuff, this fucking same bag, right? Same form, same fucking function. I went with the YKK zippers, so they're good fucking zippers. These are $100 on Overpass, and then whenever I get, a wild hair at my ass, I'm like, you know what? I've had a good day. Here's some free fucking shipping. I'll throw the code up there. But you can see they come in solid colors, and I wouldn't be fucking selling shit I wouldn't use. I burnt the shit out of one of these with a fucking can, and I still use this bag. Which, big shocker, I could replace it. Don't need to. It's holding up. It hasn't torn. It hasn't blown open any further. And I use this bag every fucking day. So now, that being said, I'm going to show you how I set up my rifle bags when I set them into Pelicans and how they get transposed and so on and so forth. Pelicans are probably one of the goofiest fucking products to exist because there's so many different variations. There's so many different fucking uses. They're either $9,000 fucking dollars or they're $50 on Facebook Marketplace. If you live anywhere near a fucking military base, you can get old 1650s for like $50, $100, right? The good thing about Pelican is they have an amazing warranty. So if you buy something, you can get replacement parts. If your shit's absolutely beat to fuck, like I can show you on one of these, they will fix it for you. Or it might cost a little bit, but still really good solid fucking cases. They work. Now, for me, depending on how I travel, that's the majority of the time I actually use a Pelican. And then I will show you the other ways I use Pelicans. So this stack right here, this has a 1626. It has a 1646 and two 1650s in it. Now, for me, I have switched to the Pelican Airs, which are going to be the 1626 and a 1646 for this reason, almost exclusively. When you're traveling with firearms, you got to use non-TSA fucking locks. There's tons of videos out there. Someone else can explain it to you. This is my fucking personal experience and kind of why I've switched to this direction. I used to carry a 1650, and when you're flying commercial fucking airlines, you get stuck with, oh, your bag weighs 100 pounds. Yeah, no shit it weighs 100 pounds. I got 20 fucking guns in there, right? So I've switched to the Pelican Airs, especially when I go on hunting trips because it changes the dynamic of my setup. Now, for instance, the last trip that I went to Oklahoma, I ended up bringing the 1646 with a singular Overpass bag in it, and I stuffed a 249 in there, right? Now, you could shove all your other shit in there, and it fits just nice, whatever, so on and so forth. But if you need more space, then you gotta get a bigger case. Now, the one thing I will say about the Pelican Air stuff is it is thinner. You will break it if you overload it. And as I have found out the hard way is if you put the right amount of shit in there and you have, I don't know, a lock on there because you have to, these parts will break. It will fucking happen. And that's why I know that Pelican has a decent fucking customer service, because I had to replace shit. I ended up getting a brand new Pelican from them because the lock holes on my 1646 actually fucking broke. So I'll show you the way that I set these up, how I set, it's nothing crazy. I literally just throw fucking bags in here, and that's how I travel with rifles, because these are considered hard cases. Well, they are hard cases, but this passes for TSA and all the airlines and so on and so forth. So let's look at that. So this is a Pelican Air 1626. You can hear that it is actually pretty fucking thin. Now, the one thing I will say about latches is that I do prefer this style of fucking push button latch on the Pelicans, because the older ones, you just pull them up, they're by force. You can fucking have your latches come undone. And then, you get your shit delivered to you by TSA and it's all fucked up and your stuff is everywhere. So, yeah. So 1626, this is a small one. Nothing special in this bag or Pelican. I literally have this one for short trips to where I would bring a singular gun. You can see an Overpass I-90 fits in there. SupDef auto bag fits in there. sup def trash bag fits in there. Now you can see the overall height right here, especially with the lid. You can see it right there, over there in the video. This would fit just guns, maybe some gear. Now this Pelican right here is actually something that I've used a metric shit ton. And you can see right here, see if I can zoom into it or whatever. Basically what happened with this Pelican is I think I had maybe 2 or 3 trips on it. And like I said, this has thinner plastic in it. And this actually broke this lock hole because this came off of it, which is just literally a piece of folded fucking, you know, cat food and fucking pot metal. And it goes over the lock hole. You put your fucking TSA lock through there. Baggage handlers do what they do. They fuck it up. So inside, this one's going to be a little bit fucking deeper. And a hair bit... It's just a bigger fucking case, okay? So this is a case that I use this same size. Not this one anymore because, well, it's out of commission. And I'll talk a little bit more about what I do with this one now. So you can see on the lid that there are some other bags on here. For instance... This is something that I am actually coming out with here shortly, whenever the fuck they actually show up. So, these pouches right here are removable. You literally, well, let me put these in here. You literally just fucking pull it off. Cool, good to go. You can see inside that it has a tourniquet holder, which should be on a kit, but it's not with the tourniquet. Some ear pro, so on and so forth. But these literally just go on the lid. This is a modification that I do to almost all my Pelicans. The one with the teal latches, I haven't done that yet because like I said, I did a short trip with that one. But you can see there are more little Velcro pouches that live up here. You go on a fucking trip for media, you got to take patches off your shit. You can store them, you're not going to lose them. And then even with like the Blue Force 10-speed stuff, that's all loop based, so you would be able to put that on here, or hook base. Now, ooh, there's a cutter in here. You can see that these bags fit in here, obviously. They're a little bit fucking, this case is a little bit taller. And then in the truest fashion, the shit that is in here, because this Pelican actually lives inside of my fucking van now. So what I'll do is I'll load my guns into a soft case, throw them in here. They're stored. They're not flopping around all over the fucking place. And then inside you get, which typically doesn't matter, whatever bag dude fucking sends you, you know, this type of media. It's like, oh man, look how organized my shit is. The reality is, at the end of the day, all of these things, unless you're hyper fucking ADHD, just ends up being a fucking catch-all for shit. So the bottom of this bag, from the last trip we were on, there are random GP pouches, dead batteries, more fucking, oh look, random shit that this goes to the top of this case, to the lid. Just random shit absolutely everywhere, because that's the reality of, oh, more frag pouches, more battery storage. Like, there's just shit in here. And some gloves, because you need some gloves. Shout out to Magpul for the gloves. So, yeah, this is how these Pelicans are set up in multiple sizes. So you can see on the lid that there are some other bags on here. For instance, this is something that I am actually coming out with here shortly, whenever the fuck they actually show up. So these pouches right here are removable. You literally, well, let me put these in here. You literally just fucking pull it off. Cool, good to go. You can see inside that it has a tourniquet holder, which should be on a kit, but it's not with the tourniquet. Some ear pro, so on and so forth. But these literally just go on the lid. This is a modification that I do to almost all my Pelicans. The one with the teal latches, I haven't done that yet because like I said, I did a short trip with that one. But you can see there are more little Velcro pouches that live up here. You go on a fucking trip for media, you got to take patches off your shit. You can store them, you're not going to lose them. And then even with like the Blue Force 10-speed stuff, that's all loop based, so you would be able to put that on here, or hook base. Now, ooh, there's a cutter in here. You can see that these bags fit in here, obviously. They're a little bit fucking, this case is a little bit taller. And then in the truest fashion, the shit that is in here, because this Pelican actually lives inside of my fucking van now. So what I'll do is I'll load my guns into a soft case, throw them in here. They're stored. They're not flopping around all over the fucking place. And then inside you get, which typically doesn't matter, whatever bag dude fucking sends you, you know, this type of media. It's like, oh man, look how organized my shit is. The reality is, at the end of the day, all of these things, unless you're hyper fucking ADHD, just ends up being a fucking catch-all for shit. So the bottom of this bag, from the last trip we were on, there are random GP pouches, dead batteries, more fucking, oh look, random shit that this goes to the top of this case, to the lid. Just random shit absolutely everywhere, because that's the reality of, oh, more frag pouches, more battery storage. Like, there's just shit in here. And some gloves, because you need some gloves. Shout out to Magpul for the gloves. So, yeah, this is how these Pelicans are set up in multiple sizes. This is how this Pelican is set up. The majority of my other Pelicans, 1615s, the air stuff, I always put fucking loop at the top. I always have some sort of soft case inside of it to store a fucking gun or whatever I'm transporting. And like this one, the 1646, this air, this one's been through a lot. The lock hole got fucking broken off on a trip. It worked out, whatever. I reached out to Pelican and they replaced it. Super rad, and I will continue to support Pelican because their customer service is fantastic. That's why I have 20 of these Pelicans everywhere. I mean, I think my oldest one went to Russia with me 15 fucking years ago. It's been all over Europe and all over the fucking world. Now, the tough thing about Pelicans is they take up space. They are fucking huge. They're in the way. If you could downstack them and you stack them inside, or you put other shit in them for storage, that's cool. This is why I don't prefer to actually use the rifle cases, because they are way too fucking big. I say that, but there's going to be a trip here shortly that I'm going to actually have to bring a rifle case, because I'll be using a bolt gun or something that doesn't fit in this setup. Now, the big Pelican Vault stuff with the Magpul fucking DACA inserts, those are fantastic. If you don't want to go that route, because it's a lot of money to have a bag that's going to be sitting around, or a case that's sitting around that you're not actually going to use, I understand that fully. I think I have 4 of them. I think 3 of them are actually just sitting in my fucking storage unit because they are in the fucking way. They're awesome. Don't get me wrong. But don't, this is my suggestion, and this was supposed to be an informational fucking video about my setup, but I will make this suggestion if you want to hear it. Don't run out. If you're new to the gun world, or you're new to wanting to buy Pelicans and bags and shit like that to kind of organize your chaos a little bit better, don't run out and buy a rifle case. They're fucking big and bulky. They get in the way. Unless you truly fucking need it. And now I'm going to show you a Pelican rifle case in the way that it is set up. But this is a factory setup. So let's look at that, and then you're going to hear me complain more about how big and bulky and in the fucking way it is. This is going to be a Pelican 1750. It has the traditional fucking style latches on it, which I fucking hate, but it is what it is. This is probably going to fall. It opens flat. Now, you can see right here, this fucking Pelican is really big. It's really fucking long. It obviously has laser cut foam. This is a factory fucking Pelican option that came from Barrett when I got my Mark 22. You can't see all the way to the other end, so that's my fucking fault. But, yeah, it's big, it's bulky. It holds this gun, you know. And you can't change this out unless you pull out the foam, which is glued in here. And then, yeah, you have this fucking big dumb fucking gun in a big dumb fucking case with a big dumb cannon here. So, rifle cases, they're cool. They do what they need to do. Like I said, unless you have something like a deployment kit like this, it's not fully necessary, I believe, in my shitty opinion, that you should be buying a fucking rifle case. We're getting close to the end, so my apologies, this video is going to be fucking 20 minutes long to where I'm just rambling about fucking bags. So now we're going to be talking about duffel bags, or kit bags. Duffel bags. So there are a ton of fucking kit bags out there, and there are a ton of duffel bags. The good thing about duffel bags is you can get them fucking almost anywhere. They're very low vis, and if you don't care about low vis, then there's a ton of American-made bags that come in camos. The first one that I'm going to talk about is going to be the bag that I designed, my version of a duffel, and it's going to be this. This is called the Dumpster, US made, haven't produced them in a while. Tons of organization inside, traditional, just U-zip up on the fucking top. And it doesn't have backpack straps because this bag was designed to be used for short haul stuff, to be thrown in other Pelicans. And I think this one has cycling gear in it or something. But US made, very compliant, super expensive, secondhand market exists. I will be producing something imported kind of like this to bring it to the fucking masses. Now, that bag was my take on the next bag, which is probably my favorite fucking duffel bag I've ever used. An American company, made in the US, full Berry compliant, and that one is going to be called Refactor Tactical. Now, this is the ASO bag, big American, comes in M81, tons of fucking pouch or spots inside. Same U-zip design, has backpack straps. My suggestion is if you can find one of these on eBay, they're fairly inexpensive. I think I paid like $120 for my tan one, which I still use almost daily, in addition with a dumpster. But this bag exists. You can find more photos and shit like that. Like there's a Mark V in here because I use this bag for airsoft, for my airsoft kit. Now, the other thing that I talked about kind of briefly is low vis, right? The cool thing about a duffel bag is if you throw your kit in there and you throw your rifle in there, you're using it for work. This exists in solid colors. You can hide. You can leave it in the back of your car. Someone's going to break into your shit. Regardless, they want everything you fucking have. They're going to do it. Now, another kit bag. I just did these for Forward Observations Group. I R&D'd this bag. It's larger than the ASO. It's larger than the dumpster. I R&D'd this bag after I got my sample, and I took it to the Dominican Republic, and I traveled for a week internationally with it, carried all my shit, carried it on a plane, carried it on a small plane when I was in the DR, so it fucking works. I made a bunch of different changes to these bags on the interior, which I won't talk too much about just because they're coming out eventually. And then, when I was talking about there's duffel bags that exist everywhere, here is the one that I am talking about. This is going to be the North Face. North Face bags, you can get at fucking REI. Some organization, the material doesn't suck, you look like a fucking tourist, they come in fucking browns and all these other fucking things. What is this thing called? This is called the Voyager Duffel 42 liter. Smoky brown. I got this at REI. I've had duffels, base camp duffels that I've had from North Face for 20 fucking years that have been around the globe with me. They work very fucking well. Don't know anything about their customer service because I haven't broken one yet. But in the truest fashion of something that I think is fucking superior, that is super fucking cheap and available readily outside of the bags that are, you know, camping or outdoor fucking bags that are imported is, oh, this is a US made version of it, but this is the ultimate fucking bag for kit. If you know what this is, shouldn't be hard. This is a US made IKEA tote bag. I had this made because, big shocker, the IKEA tote bag is the most universal, useful fucking bag that you can ever have. You can carry so much shit in a fucking tote bag, especially how big this is. You can carry ammo, you can carry your rifle, you can carry your kit, you can throw dirty laundry in here. That's what's in this right now. And no one's gonna fucking be any wiser. You rolling around with a fucking tote bag like a fucking hipster, which I know people want to throw that term around, but tote bag, hipster. Pull out your fucking rifle, good to go. So the tote bag, awesome fucking kit bag. I will be releasing these sooner than later as well. But there we go. Brief discussion about fucking tote bags and kit bags and those types of things. Last but not least, I'm going to throw this in there, and this is going to be something that might make people fucking feel really weird or uneasy because it's definitely questionable. And I will say that. I was talking about this on Twitter. Yeah, so I'm going to talk about this last part of bags, and then I'll go back to talking about guns because no one cares about bags. Now, there's going to be a handful of people who are going to be like, oh, well, I don't want to carry a rifle bag because it looks like a fucking gun. I don't want to get robbed because it looks like a gun. And then there's a handful of people that live in a different reality than the majority of us, and this is kind of a different one. This is going to be a shit hot take for most people. But if you're one of those people that got it like that, as they say, then there are other sorts of bags that you can carry that are fucking awesome, that you can for sure carry guns in. This is a Louis Vuitton this is a Louis Vuitton tote bag. It's big as fuck. You can carry a fucking MP5 in this. You can hide this shit in broad fucking daylight. You're walking down whatever high-end place that you're living. You just got out of your fucking Rolls Royce. Your chick got her Birkin, which, by the way, a Birkin 55 hack. If you don't know what that is, look it up. HAC. I'll just post it here. You can carry an MP5K in that. You can carry a full-size MP5 in this. You can carry a full-size fucking rifle with a folder on this. And, you know, you might even be able to carry a fucking FAL folder, a para in this. So there are a lot of bag options that exist out there that people don't think about. Like, why would I carry that? Why would I put a gun in that? Well, if you're walking around, you're at lunch, and you know, you see this, you're not going to think fucking twice about it. Your chick's going to be like, oh shit, look at that fucking bag. That's beautiful. I love it. How come you don't ever buy me one? So that might be a point of contention in your relationship as a gun dude who's trying to spend a couple bucks on a fucking bag. But the reality is, don't get stuck carrying goofy fucking bags, you know, when you're worried about self-defense. You got the Second Amendment thing going already. You live in fucking America, hopefully. And you can carry a fucking machine gun in a leather bag or whatever. So that's kind of my shit hot take is don't stick to traditional fucking bags, especially if you're out and about. Obviously, if you're working and you need a soft case, things like the fucking trash bag, the auto bag, the overpass, the I-90, those things, the Magpul shit, the DACA stuff. There's a ton of stuff out there. This, personally, for me, is something that I would carry a gun in sometimes. And I think that more people need to be having their eyes opened to other ways to carry a gun and not look like you carry a gun with Velcro all over your fucking jacket. So, Fort Knox Podcast, FKP. Here are all the socials if you want to follow me, to where I post all my shit hot takes. Have a good one.